Gentlemen and female gentlemen, welcome to Lore Dive time! That's right, it's been a while since we've done an honest-to-God lore dive! And in the honor of VOX MACHINA, with Season 3 going on right now, I am very excited to say we're diving into VOX MACHINA lore. So, for those of you that don't know what's going on here, there is a group of D&D players called the Critical Role. It is a squad of dudes that have spent thousands of hours making these campaigns and these stories. One of them recently got a show. It's on Amazon Prime. 2 seasons already came out. They're in the middle of the 3rd right now. And it's actually good. Like, it's actually good. It's a YouTube-focused story that is good. This is a win for entertainment. I always will support a story, a show, a production that stems from the little guy following his dreams and making good content. Literally always, okay? Amazing Digital Circus succeeds, W. Has-Been Hotel succeeds, W. VOX MACHINA succeeds, W. I'll say it as I see it. I want to see success stories come from indie people and not these big, mega, super billion-dollar, massive, disgusting, manipulative Diddy parties, okay? So, Critical Role is the name of the campaign, and Campaign 1 is the VOX MACHINA campaign. So this is a video done by Finn Films, where he puts together the entire VOX MACHINA lore over the course of these thousands of hours of campaigns. So we're really doing the ultimate lore dive here. I am literally ready. Let's see what it's all about.
Critical Role. It's become this monolith of D&D culture.
All right.
What started as a home game for a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors, over time has turned into one of the most popular live stream shows ever.
It's so big. It's big on YouTube, and it's so big that it even got a freaking animation. It's an actual series on Prime, and it's successful. Dude, you want to know how successful? Top 10 shows on Amazon Prime, okay? All right, are you ready? Top 10 on Amazon Prime in the world right now. All right, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Killer Heart Brothers. Oh, no, I don't want October 18. I don't give a shit about October 18. Not today. Let's give me this month. Everything needs a subscription. Welcome to the modern internet where everything needs a subscription. God damn, these useless people. God. October 18th? I don't care about popular shows on October 18th. This is honestly disgusting. This is honestly despicable. Dude, everything needs a fucking... Anyway, it's in the top 5, okay? It's in the top 5 right now on Prime, okay? Shut the frick up. Shut the frick up.
Critical Role's first broadcast...
Crazy part of Season 1 was crowdfunded. Season 1 was crowdfunded? That's insane. It's insane that it's such a big success story, and I love it so much. But anyway, you know me, Lord Nuxanor. I do all the lore dives. I dive into lore of celebrity culture. I dive into lore of the YouTube drama. I dive into the lore of every story ever made. I will consume all lore. Subscribe for more lore.
Cast debuting on March 12, 2015 on Geek and Sundry. Fast forward 8 years later, and Critical Role is still going strong in their 3rd campaign.
Insane.
You see, 4 is great as Critical Role is as a form of medium in storytelling. It does have one really glaring weakness for newer viewers. It's really freaking long.
Yes, I've tried. I actually tried to look into Critical Role's like campaigns just because I was interested in the storytelling side of it. Dude, it's thousands of hours. Thousands of hours!
I mean, really long. For context, Critical Role is currently on its 3rd campaign in 8 years. The first ran for 115 episodes,
wow,
most episodes taking anywhere between 3 to 5 hours.
Ah! That's so many hours.
To complete.
The Kickstarter raised $11 million. $11 million. Wow, dude. $11 million. Well, anyway.
which comes out conservatively to somewhere around 350 to 400 hours of showtime.
That's crazy.
And this is just for campaign 1. Yes, all that juicy D&D content is a bit intimidating at first for a potential new viewer to chew through. So that's why today on Fraud on the Telly, we're going to be speedrunning Critical Role Campaign 1.
All right, let's go.
Obviously, I highly encourage you all to watch the entirety of the campaign on your own.
Watch the entirety of the 500-hour-long campaign
Yourselves, but join me today as we speedrun Critical Role Campaign 1. Our story begins on the world of Exandria in the...
Oh my god, dude, we're actually getting lore! I'm so ready for lore, baby. Dude, look at this. Taldore Republic. Dude, that's awesome!
Continent of Taldore, a region ruled over by sovereign Uriel Taldore and his family.
Yeah, it's a good thing is nothing bad happens to him.
Enter our main character.
All right. Let me know in the comments who's your favorite of these characters if you've ever seen this show. If not, you're about to get a really, really cool-ass introduction to this lore dive, but best character is easily Grog. Grog! He's the GOAT! He's actually the GOAT. Big guy, big dumb guy. Oh, he's so good. He's so good.
The
Bro,
adventure
dude gets a sword. He gets a sword that like has like evil powers, and the sword keeps telling him like, I hunger. And Grog just looks down at his stomach and he's like, oh, me too, stomach. And then he goes and gets food. How awesome is that? I'm sorry. That's just the funniest shit in the universe.
group Vox Machina, the cunning and agile twins Vex and Vax, the not so holy gnome cleric Pike Trickfoot.
Dude, it's true. What a good cast. Right? She's like the priestess lady that, you know, supposedly the wholesome one, but she has like darkness in her.
The brilliant inventor and gunslinger Percy DeRollo.
Invents guns and introduces it to the fucking world. That's like so fucked up, bro.
The womanizing gnome bard.
No, it's true. They didn't actually give a fuck, and they made this character completely going against like, you know, like Scanlan, also a great character. No, true. Honestly, I think his character development is easily the best character development in the show, at least so far. But like the idea that this dude is like a massive womanizer and gets away with it, and they actually made it into they wrote it into the actual show. They weren't like afraid of getting canceled or whatever. Like, I respect that.
Scanlan Shorthalt, the awkward half-elf druid.
Dude, she's awesome.
Keyleth of the Arashari, and finally, the hulking cheerful Goliath, barbarian, Grog, Strongjaw.
Grog! He's the GOAT. Grog's my GOAT. I love him.
Shortly before the game was streamed, Vox Machina had freed Sovereign Uriel and his family from the influence of demonic forces. As such, the group were awarded a spot on the Taldore Council.
Oh shit, was that even in the show? I feel like this is this like an arc before the show started? I heard that they had an issue with one of the arcs animating it, and they had to skip an arc because of copyright or some bullshit. Maybe I'm wrong.
Position of honor and political power. Not long after these events, one of Taldore's greatest magic wielders, the Arcanist Allura Visorin, would petition Vox Machina to travel to the underground city of Craghammer to rescue.
I'm pretty sure this wasn't in the actual show. Again, it's been a while, but I feel like it wasn't in the show, right? Yeah, I don't know, but it's really interesting. It's different than the show. The show's events are different. All right.
Rescue the missing paladin, Lady Kima, who had been sent there.
See, I'm pretty sure she only showed up later in the show
to investigate some strange creatures.
All right.
The party venture into the Underdark to track Lady Kima after.
It's so cool because the Underdark is like an actual D&D thing. Again, I'm planning on doing a whole D&D lore dive specifically. Like, I know that's gonna take me weeks probably to cover all of D&D lore, because as you know, I consume all lore, all right? And D&D's like a massive one in the future. 10,000 likes and they'll start the D&D lore dive, okay? I know there's so much. People told me from the false hydras to the fucking succubi, bro. There's so much lore in D&D. The gods of D&D. Dude, Drizzt and all that shit. Oh my god.
After they defeated a strange abomination and oversized Hydra, after traversing deep into the subterranean caves of the Underdark and befriending a mind flayer named Colorota,
Wait, they made friends with a mind flayer? I thought those guys were like ancient monster. Okay, again, I have no fucking idea. Listen, what do I know of D&D lore? We didn't do the lore dive yet.
Party barely managed to save Lady Kima, who was being held prisoner by a group of dwarves known as the Duragar. The party pushed deeper into the Underdark, coming across a Mind Flayer city that has been completely overtaken by this evil Kavarn, who is revealed to be a beholder, juiced up with the power from the Horn of Orcus. Party managed to barely defeat Kavarn, taking Kima and the Horn of Orcus, fleeing the Underdark from the hordes of Mind Flayers. From here, our party and Kima make their way to the holy city of Vasselheim, one of the oldest cities in all of Exandria, and the center of spiritual worship on the continent. After delivering the Horns of Orcus to the Temple of Bahamut, the party find themselves wrapped up in the business of one organization, the Slayer's Take. This organization takes out contracts to destroy dangerous and powerful magical creatures in the area.
Interesting. So in the beginning, they're really not known by, like, governments so much, it seems, right? Again, I'm pretty sure that the first arc in the show is about taking out a dragon, right? The second arc in the show is the Briarwood arc, and I don't know where that is here at all.
Party teleport back to Taldore in their castle Greyskull Keep. There, they are greeted by a fellow Taldore council member, Seeker Assume, who informs them that Sovereign Uriel will be holding a grand feast in 1 week to honor Lord and Lady Briar.
They literally put a whole other arc there, and the first arc of the actual D&D campaign is completely different than the Vox Machina arc. That's crazy. Really interesting. I did not know that. Wow, okay. So apparently they did shuffle up the arcs a bit. Is it for copyright purposes, or was that like a... I wonder who made that executive decision.
Wood of Whitestone in celebration of
these guys are like fucking vampire monsters.
Bridge being built between the continents of Wildmount and Taldore. After Assume leaves, Percy, who looks distraught at this recently learned news, informs the party that he is the true heir to the nobleship of Whitestone. He tells them that Lord and Lady Briarwood are responsible for the death of his entire family, the two nobles having wormed themselves into Lord and Lady Dorolo's good graces, only to unleash an army, slaughtering Percy's family and many of the townspeople, the Briarwoods managing to spin a tall tale to the rest of the world that the Dorolo family had died from illness, died from a disease.
Ah, yes. Classic Dorolo family. Died of illness. Arrows to the back of ptosis. It's just so sad. So many young people killed by arrows to the back of ptosis. A slight sword to the face-itis. It's not easy. It's not easy when blood-suckophilia happens. We all hate that shit.
And had left Whitestone for them to guard. Percy, you see, has been waiting
and Percy has AIDS.
His entire life to get revenge on those who destroyed his family, his home, those who tortured him. His anger and lust for revenge helping him concoct a weapon of mass destruction, the first firearm in the world.
Yes, sir. He invented guns.
Of Exandria. Our party attend the feast, donning their best clothes. Vax investigating the Briarwood's room while the rest of the party do small talk at the dinner table. Unfortunately for Vax, though, he is caught red-handed by the Lord and Lady as he suddenly finds himself paralyzed, unable to move.
Dude, Vax is also such a cool character. I think, dude, honestly, the fact that these characters go through such dynamic changes through the story, it's so impressive to me that the writing is so solid.
As Lord Briarwood walks up behind him,
I'll admit the Briarwood arc was kind of mid, but it really picks up after that.
Him sinking his teeth into the rogue's neck, revealing that he, Lord Briarwood, is in fact a vampire lord.
Awkward!
Vax attempts to fight his way out of this small room, jumping through the window, falling several floors down to the courtyard below. As he does, he mutters the word Jenga into his telepathic earrings, informing the rest of the party that something has gone wrong. Party rush outside to Vax's aid just in time as a grand battle.
Also, like the fact that they give him like the sexy voice and everything, and he's like fast, dude.
Battle begins to take place against Silas, the vampire lord.
Okay, who's gonna tell Percy that despite the fact that he did something really cool and invented firearms, guns never actually hurt anyone in this entire show.
And his necromantic magic-wielding wife, Delilah Briarwood. The Briarwoods put up a strong fight, but seeing the odds are stacked against them and looking to keep their facade of this Lord and Lady of Whitestone.
Right, they're still fooling the government like they're political leaders here, you know? Like, yeah.
alive, the two eventually escape, teleporting away. Later, Asum meets with the party, informing them that he believes Sovereign Uriel has been placed under a charmed spell by the vampire Silas. The party, after some deliberation, deciding to venture to Whitestone to clear their names and to discover what horrors have taken place in
It's so cool to see a D&D campaign come to life like this. Like, that is so good.
Percy's hometown. On the journey, Keyleth begins to worry about Percy, questioning him on his recent behavior, as since their encounter with the Briarwoods, Percy has grown more angry and...
Dude went full Alucard for a second. That's crazy. He looks like Father Anderson. He's one step away from fucking sending the vampires. Holy crap, bro, went full vampire races there.
Violent. Percy tells her that inventing his gun was a mistake.
Yeah.
It just happened one day when he had finally decided he would take revenge. Percy is unaware of this at the time, but in this moment when he created his firearm, Percy made a contract with a shadow demon, venge demon, Orthax, for the hidden knowledge to create said firearm, each barrel of the gun being etched with a name of a soul that Percy must claim for Orthax. Stone, the landscape begins to change. Things become dark and ominous. An unknown fog permeates the forest, and the once lively city now sits cold and silent.
So I'll be honest, at this point of my excursion into the lore, I was not super invested in the lore of this world, right? Exandria or whatever it's called. Like, I was not super invested because, like, this is classic, ooh, vampires took over the government. I wasn't super into it until the next arc, I'd say, where I think that the actual lore starts really amping up with the Fey realm. Like, there's actual literal hell in this world, okay? There's like... It gets really, really good. Like, the lore opens up and the world building is fantastic. At this point, it's more of a character piece. You're getting to know who Vox Machina is. This group of misfits that, like, they're like useful idiots as they go on.
The once healthy giant tree that sits in the center of the town, known as the Sun Tree, a tree that was said to have been planted by the sun god Pelor, is now barren of all leaves. The party stealthily...
That's a bald tree. It's the Asmongold of trees.
Enter the city, dodging patrols by massive undead zombie giants and those loyal to the Briarwoods. They make their way to the center of the town, coming closer to this giant tree. There they see 8 bodies.
Yeah, this was fucked up. Yeah, that's when I was like, wait a second. This is fucked up. Yep. This is like some Game of Thrones shit.
Hung from said tree, all of which have been dressed up to look like the members of Vox Machina.
How fucked up is that? That's crazy. Whoever came up with that shit is a psycho. That they took 8 random people that were roughly the same shape or size as the Vox Machina crew, and to spook them, they were dressed up like Vox Machina, executed, and hanged on the tree that they killed, knowing for a fact that Vox Machina would see 8 doppelgangers of themselves that were innocent people murdered to send them a message. That, when I saw that, I was like, wow. And 2 children for, like, the 2 gnomes in Vox Machina, right? Like, the two short guys, Scanlan and Pike. Like, I was so floored when I saw that they would go that far in the writing of the show, because this is an animated show. Dude, Scanlan literally wrote a song about an outhouse at the edge of the world, okay? Like, goddamn.
An obvious warning from the Briarwoods. Over the next day, the party concoct a plan to overthrow the Briarwoods. Their plan is to incite a rebellion amongst the townspeople by systematically attacking and removing the Briarwoods' most powerful allies within the city.
Good strategy.
All the while...
Like, it's actually a good arc. Like, it is a good arc as a standalone arc. It doesn't do super much for the world building, in my opinion, but as a standalone arc, it's fire.
Percy growing more and more erratic and violent with each Briarwood conspirator that was killed. With the city in chaos, the townspeople rally to the flames of rebellion, led by their once-thought-dead prodigal son, Percy DeRollo.
There he
Percy
is.
Learning life-changing information that his sister Cassandra, who he
Is
once thought
alive.
was long dead, is actually alive.
We love these revelations, baby.
Being held by the Briarwoods in the castle. With the streets of Whitestone littered with fighting, Vox Machina used this as a distraction to enter the palace through a secret entrance that leads into the dungeon.
Alright.
There they find an old woman, who they learn is Anna Ripley in disguise.
It's important to note that old women in general are dangerous people, especially in animated shows. It's just a fact. You'll never find an old woman and it'll be like, oh, it's just a nice old... No, it's never that. It's never that.
Scientist and one of the Briarwood conspirators who personally tortured Percy.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Ripley, with no other option, informed...
Yeah, the good news is, after this arc, she never comes back and we never see her again. Psych! This story does such a good job at remembering characters and tying arcs into each other.
The party that she was put in charge of the Briarwood secret operation, the construction of a ziggurat, a pyramid temple-like structure beneath the castle. The party pushed through the castle, taking Ripley with them, eventually finding and rescuing Percy's sister, Cassandra. Here, an epic battle would take place between Vox Machina and the Briarwood, Silas using his...
Like every good show, you get the massive climax finale of the arc. And everything goes well.
Enhanced physical abilities and evil enchanted blade to carve up members of Vox Machina, while Delilah rains down powerful magic from above.
Right, it's a classic. You got the super strong tanky guy in the front, and you got the mage build in the back. It's classic fantasy battle scene, you know?
Eventually, though, the party would manage to get the upper hand, as the magic wielder's been utilizing sun magic to damage the vampire. Delilah screams out in horror as the love of her life, Silas, is ripped asunder by the beams of sunlight.
I love that also. It's like, despite the fact that these people are obviously fucking monsters and need to get eradicated, all right? Like, they're terrorists. Like, these people are actually terrorists, and they need to get eradicated. You know, that's what you got. Terrorists, bye-bye. Bye-bye, terrorists. No more terrorists. Hot take. Fuck terrorists. Okay? But ultimately, these terrorists do have, like, backstories. They do have things that they love. They are human. I mean, they're vampires, but in a sense, emotionally speaking, they are still human, and it is interesting to see that shine through.
With tears running down her face, Delilah quickly ascends the ziggurat, where she begins the ritual, splattering her own blood upon a small black orb as she begins muttering an incantation. Suddenly, the walls begin to come to life, as in horror, the party realize that the walls of this cavern have been laden with the bodies of the dead. Suddenly, though, the orb, which was spinning rapidly, shrieks down to the size of a dime as Delilah yells out, "No!" The ritual supposedly not working. Scanlan racks his memory, informing the party that it's possible this ritual was linked to the entity Vecna, also known as the Whispered One, a great mage
damn, what a cool fucking
who attained...
I didn't realize it was like such a... Like, there was actual lore to this guy.
To the entity Vecna, also known as the...
What the fuck's Vecna? Is that like a real lore thing?
Whispered One, a great mage who attained lichdom and sought to attain godhood in the distant past. As they speak to one another, Percy begins to feel a rage boiling inside of him, smoke beginning to pour from his body. Suddenly, Percy pulls the gun from his back, a voice in his head telling him to kill Delilah.
He should. Honestly true. Get rid of her. Finished. Bye-bye. 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 What, you think you're gonna let her go and she's just gonna be a nice wham and F? No! End the bitch!
As the smoke from Percy's body begins to coalesce behind him into a strange, hulking form. Orthax, the shadow demon who made a...
Wait, so Orthax isn't the D&D, like, known character, right? It's a Vox Machina original, right? It's just like a Critical Role character. It's not like a real D&D creature, right?
Contract with Percy.
Yeah, it's an original demon. Okay, all right.
Has finally revealed itself. The party...
No, why'd I skip?
Party that it's possible this...
God.
They speak to one another.
I hate touching numbers and...
Percy begins to feel a rage as the smoke from Percy's body begins to coalesce behind him into a strange, hulking form. Orthax, the shadow demon who made a contract with Percy, has finally revealed itself.
Nice.
The party managed to defeat...
Dude, I would honestly do it. Like, dude, if Orthax was like, yo, listen, Nux, I have this really cool thing. I'll give you limitless power. All you have to do is literally take justice into your own hands and take vengeance on your enemies. I would be like, Orthax, I'd spit on my hand and I'd shake his wiener. Or however demon contracts happen in D&D lore. And it would be great. It would literally be great. It would be awesome.
The demon Orthax, Delilah being stabbed to death by Cassandra in the...
Definitely subscribe and I will become your demon patron, all right? We will follow our dreams together. Let chaos take the world.
Chaos. Scanlan destroying Percy's pistol and...
I love Scanlan, he's so good. In an outhouse at the edge of the world.
A vat of acid as a final puff of smoke rises from the green goo. Some time passes. One day, though,
Don't worry, we never see Orthax again. You do.
Vox Machina are summoned to the Cloud Top District for an important announcement from Sovereign Uriel. Here,
Wait.
Uriel announced,
Bro! It literally goes right into the Chroma Conclave arc. Yo! Okay, I'm so happy these are back-to-back in the actual campaign too, because this is when shit gets real. This is when I think the story went from like a solid 7 out of 10 to an easy 8.5 out of 10.
that he will abdicate his throne, and henceforth the Tal'Dorei
Pay no attention to that. That was I was calling dragon fire from above.
Council will rule.
That was not a sneeze. That was dragon fire. Okay, that was some Eldritchian shit.
In his stead as the Tal'Dorei Republic. Suddenly, though, warning bells begin to ring out throughout the city. They look up into the sky to
All
see
right, baby!
dragons.
This is honestly so fucking scary. It's like I feel like the entire story until now is literally built to this art. You sneeze like Bruce Lee fights. I don't know if that's a compliment.
Of different colors, white, black, green, and red, descending upon the city, destroying
Yes.
buildings and killing innocents as
Like
they
it really goes to show how powerful dragons are. One thing that I love about this is it instantly introduces the level of difficulty that they're gonna actually need to take out these Chroma Conclave, like these 4 fucking big ass dragons. Like it's not like oh sick, we'll just get a lot of guys with spears. No, guys with spears, they ain't doing shit. Okay, all right.
go. Chaos rings out as the dragons destroy the city. Vox Machina attempting
Like, dude, look at him with his freaking pistol. You're not doing anything to these guys.
to fight back, though they quickly realize that they are no match.
Also, dude, this gay storekeeper guy is the best guy ever.
Vox Machina attempting to fight back, though they quickly
Right, this gay storekeeper guy, he is so good. He is so good. I love this guy. All right. To shout out to everyone that cancels me on Twitter for being oh, the reason why he hates DEI gaming and when people just insert propaganda and shit. Oh, it's because he just hates gay people. No, this guy, he's awesome. I love him. Gilmore's awesome. Gilmore's the GOAT. He's actually so good. God, I love him.
realize that they are
Dude, I love how every time, like, Vax is like, Gilmore, we need your assistance. Can you please sell me a magic weapon? Gilmore's like, like, just fucking... he's good. He's really good. I love him.
no match for these dragons. The party managed to escape to their castle on the outskirts of the city. Here they meet with Alora Vysoran, one of the most powerful magic wielders in Tal'Dorei. She informs them that the largest dragon of the 4, the red dragon, is named Thordak, and that Alora and her adventuring party years ago had sealed Thordak away in the elemental plane of fire. With
Yeah, that didn't go well.
the city of Iman in ruins and now occupied by ancient dragons,
These 4 dragons come out of nowhere and completely take over the capital city, completely annihilating the entire governing force of the country. Like, this is a existential level threat. The world is about to go and get new management. Like, that's how scary this feels.
Vox Machina begins to flee with a number of refugees to the city of Whitestone.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna do? Like, they are completely outmanned and outgunned. Like, it really introduces a very good arc, I think. I love the Chroma Conclave because they need to actually scour the lands. They need to go from dimension to world to universe to alternate planes, going around to gather the most wicked arsenal of fucking awesome artifacts of all time to take these motherfuckers down because they have no chance. And I think that's just so awesome. Like, that is how you do, like, an adventure arc well.
Via teleportation magic. From here, our party then teleport to the holy city of Vasselheim once more, in search of allies and information, returning to the Slayer's Take. The party are then taken to meet a Gynosphinx.
Oh, so in the lore of the D&D campaign, they end up being in the Slayer's Take in the past. In the show, I believe this is the first time you see them, where they meet a Sphinx and they try to follow the Sphinx's... Dude, why did I even think of this? Of course, Sphinxes are like classic D&D creatures, right? God damn, I have to do D&D lore.
Named Osisa, an ancient entity which serves the goddess
And she just wants to get boned.
of knowledge, Ioun, and looks over the Slayer's Take. The Sphinx then reveals to the party that in order to stop these ancient dragons...
Dude, it's crazy how much he's skipping. Like, you realize that one of the characters here dies and literally comes back to life in this arc. Like, there's so much shit that actually goes on, it's crazy.
They must claim the vestiges of the Divergence.
really cool idea. Like, the whole search for ancient artifacts to defeat a massive evil, like, this is like the classic adventure storyline. Except being that it's done in a D&D campaign with like fantastic characters and interesting world building, it's so good. I really have so much respect for what Vox Machina accomplished, and I'm so happy it's doing well on Amazon Prime.
Ancient weapons wielded by champions of the gods in an ancient war long past the Calamity. The Sphinx informs them should they seek these weapons, they should venture into the mountains to meet with her mate, who will be able to reveal the locations to them.
That dude just wants to bone.
The party continued to journey through Vasselheim, obtaining more knowledge and allies, Grog learning the location of one of these vestiges, a set of leather armor that was once worn by the Raven Queen's champion, Goddess of Death, which lies in a tomb that has sunken beneath a lake not far from Vasselheim. The party set out for the tomb of the Raven Queen's champion, eventually coming upon the coffin of said champion, the Deathwalker's ward armor, the vestige resting inside. Percy, in his haste to claim the armor,
accidentally kills his wife,
reaches out and touches it, setting off a blast of necromantic death energy that emits from the coffin, hitting Vex, killing her where she stands instantly.
Dude, this is like classic D&D shit, because this type of stuff would never happen in like a generic show that didn't have dice rolls and stuff.
Vax in horror rushes to his sister's side, who lies cold and dead on the ground. The group quickly attempt to perform a resurrection ritual, Vax holding his sister in his arms.
Guys, the resurrection ritual doesn't work.
He looks up, seeing a floating visage of the Goddess of Death before him.
But that works!
In anger, he shouts out, "Take me, you raven bitch," as the form slowly drifts towards him, the figure vanishing fills Vexalia's lungs. From here, the party eventually...
Yeah, so he basically makes a deal with the Goddess of Death, and he gets like super speed and the ability to fly and shit, but he also lives this awkward life of constantly seeing like his fate laid before him. Like, it's kind of fucked up, but it's so cool and adds so much depth to the world.
Venture back to Whitestone, catching their breath once more. As time passes, the party have learned that this group of dragons is known as the Chroma Conclave, and they have spread their violence and domination out across Tal'Dorei,
Not good.
taking a number of cities under their control.
Not
One
good.
such of these cities being Westrin, which is currently being ruled by the Black Dragon Undersill and is occupied by the Herd of Storms, Grog's barbarian tribe.
Grog the GOAT!
Weighing their options, the group venture to meet Osis's mate, another Sphinx who tests the group. The party eventually passing, to which they are...
Dude, I love how... So, the funny thing is, again, this is only something that could exist in D&D. It's so hard to predict. When this episode started with, like, the Sphinx and the group trying to talk to the Sphinx, I was sure it was somebody else's, like, time to shine. But then Scanlan actually got the massive W, you know? And it was like, where did that even come from? Well, the answer is it's D&D. It's a campaign. You know, it's not predictable. And I love that too.
Awarded the Vestige Mythcarver and legendary sword for bards. As well, the Sphinx reveals the locations of the other many vestiges. With 2 vestiges now in their possession, the party decide to take some drastic action.
Yeah.
They set their sights on the next vestige, the Titanstone Knuckles. The party hoped that by defeating Kevdak, Grog's uncle, they could free the city.
Wait, in the campaign, Grog killed that Sphinx? No!
Of Westrin from the control of the barbarian, and potentially Grog could motivate the Herd of Storms to fight against the Black Dragon Umbrasyl.
Dude, I love Grog so much. Like, dude, like, gets this total makeover, new weapons, he's fucking huge, and they're like, something's different about you, Grog. He's like, I know, my beard. Like, dude's awesome. He's awesome. He's so funny.
The party decide to set a trap for Kevdak, Grog boldly challenging his uncle in
Oh, the dragon, not the Sphinx. Okay, all right, my bad.
One-on-one combat while Vox Machina wait in hiding. The battle quickly goes poorly for Grog, as Kevdak is extremely powerful and aided by the power of his vestige, the Titanstone Knuckles. Grog is quickly overwhelmed. Suddenly, a massive battle breaks out as the rest of Vox Machina enter the fray. Kevdak's mini barbarian.
Based! Honor is for losers! But what about the honorable duel between 2 warriors? Shut the fuck up! There's no such thing as honor. Honor? Get out of here with that cringe! Eviscerate the enemy! Any means necessary!
Barbarian warriors joining in as well. In a cinematic, intense moment, Vex manages to save a wounded Grog in her pocket plane necklace, the half-elf flying high up on her broom.
Dude, this is awesome. Like, she has like a Pokeball So she puts Grog in the Pokeball and launches it.
And releasing the barbarian from said necklace, as Grog flies down with a heavy swing of his axe, cutting Kevdak in two.
Based! And that's how he took revenge on his uncle for how he treated him in his childhood. Wow, that sounded different than what actually happened.
With Kevdak slain, the herd of storms quickly turns, coming to support Grog, as he claims the Titanstone Knuckles. Vox Machina quickly putting a plan together to defeat the Black Dragon Umbrasyl.
See, again, this is like classic Percy moment. Percy comes up with this whole fucking awesome plan, and it just fails so miserably. Oh, God.
Percy devises a great metal trap, which they will use.
Like, what a fantastic trap, and it'll catch the dragon, and it doesn't actually do anything.
To ground the Black Dragon, as attempting to defeat an ancient dragon that has use of its wings is nigh impossible. With the trap set, Vox Machina and their allies wait for Umbrasyl to land to claim its tribute from the city. As it lands, the trap is sprung, hooks being dug into the dragon, holding it into place.
And they're ready to cook. I love how daunting this task is of killing a single dragon. Like, here they were, they prepared, they ambushed him, they have 3 fucking god weapons. So in the show, they have more, right? They also have that legendary bow, the bow vestige also at this point. So that they have 4 god-slaying weapons, and they still get absolutely dumpstered by this dragon.
The barbarians spring to action. Umbrasyl does take some heavy damage, though it manages to free itself from the trap, taking flight and unleashing a torrent of acid breath onto the battlefield. The dragon, though, begins to flee back to its horde in the mountains to recover. Our party now regroup, pursue Umbrasyl into its lair.
Like, I also love the ingenuity of a lot of this stuff. Like, I love that, like, they have this sword that they can lock into space in the air, and they climb into the dragon's asshole, because of course they do. They climb into the dragon's asshole, and then they lock the sword in place in the air inside of the dragon's asshole. So for the dragon to fly, it has to rip its own asshole out. Guys, this is the greatest story of all time! You are sleeping on greatness!
For one final standoff, eventually slaying the Black Dragon, the first member of the Chroma Conclave, now dead.
Yeah, they actually do succeed to take it out the next time.
For them.
The immovable rod. Yes!
After a lengthy trip to the Feywild, a reunion with Vex and Vax.
Oh, so in the show, this happens first. Right? The Feywild reunion with Vex and Vax's father, all that shit, that happens first.
Vax's estranged father, and a formidable encounter with an emotionally manipulative Archfey, Vox Machina,
which is basically your chat, if you are familiar to streaming.
Machina again return to Whitestone, having claimed the vestige. They then make their way to the continent of Marquette.
Interesting. So the reason why they ended up going to Marquette in the show is because they were told by one of the dragons wanted to rebel against the other 2 remaining dragons, and told them that here's some legendary vestige that'll be able to defeat them.
Pursuit of yet another vestige, Cabal's Ruin, to the city of Ankeret.
Yeah, it's this epic redirection cloak shit.
Here, though, they are surprised to discover that the former owner of Cabal's Ruin has been killed, the vestige taken. But unusual was the nature of the woman's death, as her body had been riddled with puncture wounds, seemingly
from a gun!
Bullet holes.
Oh my god! Are we going back to the Briarwood Hark?
This could only be one person, Anna Ripley, who the party have discovered has been scrying on Percy through a pistol he has carried.
Yep. Bro got rizzled. It's over.
She took from Ripley back in Whitestone. After scrying on Ripley, they deduced...
It's so crazy how actually well put together this story is. Like, with the different characters from different arcs keep constantly coming back, you know?
That she...
Rizzled with holes, true. That's when you get shot by a woman, is you get rizzled.
He is chasing another one of the vestiges, the dagger.
Because it's like, you don't like that you got shot, but at the same time, it's like, kind of hot. Oh, is that just me?
Whisper. And so the party set out after her. Eventually, Vox Machina come face to face with Ripley once more.
Yes!
Though this time
It does not work out, because she has 2 vestiges.
Wields...
Or she has a vestige and a half.
Cabal's Ruin, and has made a contract with a familiar smoke...
There's our boy! Smoke Demon hath returned! Let's go! Sponsored by Vapely, ladies and gentlemen.
Smoke Demon, Orthax. After an intense battle, Vox Machina managed to defeat Ripley, but it was at the cost of Percy's life. The next day, the party ventured back to Whitestone, returning Percy back to life. The next morning, though...
Ah! Never mind! They have the Dragon Balls. We're all Gucci here.
So the party would be greeted by their allies, Seeker Assume, who suddenly reveals themselves.
I do literally, I pause it, I freak out, dude's dead, and then they bring him back to life. Oh yeah, okay.
To be the Green Dragon Raishan in disguise.
Yeah.
Raishan comes to Vox Machina.
Right? He's their ally. He wants to help them out. He's like, listen, guys, listen, I want you to kill this big fucking dragon. He's scary.
With a deal. She will help them defeat Thordak. But in return,
women, am I right?
She wants to take Thordak's body. The party reluctantly agree, setting their sights now
necrophiliac dragon going crazy.
Now on the white dragon Voragal, as they believe with Raishan's aid, it will be a much easier fight. The party return to Draconia, launching a surprise attack on Voragal with
this works incredibly well. Yeah, no it doesn't.
Raishan aiding the party, they manage to slay the white beast.
Wait, they get him? They actually cook him? Woo! Wow, interesting. So all it took was 4 god-killing weapons and a dragon to kill a dragon. Nice. I like that they don't immediately power creep these characters, you know? Like, I love that they introduce them as incredibly dangerous, and you need an incredible amount of force to actually take them down.
Claiming another vestige, the Spire of Conflux in the process. With just Thordak remaining, the party prepare for the final battle, making a quick trip to the City of Brass in the Plane of Fire to recover one final vestige.
I love that. I love that it's all a journey of gathering weapons, gaining strength, making allies. You know you're up against an indomitable force.
After returning, it's then they realize that Vox Machina must take the fight to Thordak, who has burrowed deep beneath the Cloud Top district, which now seems to more resemble the caldera of an active volcano than a city district at all. In an epic battle, Vox Machina and their allies descend upon the city of Emon, Vox Machina cutting their way through the Cloud Top district into Thordak's lair. Our heroes fighting valiantly against this colossal ancient dragon, eventually badly wounding the beast as he attempts to fly deeper into his underground lair. Vax pursues though, remembering the voice of his mother in his head as he stabs Thordak, dealing the final blow.
Bro, and that's how they actually take the fight to him and win. By the way, Nux, in dragon lore, green dragons are petty and tricky ones. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude, there's specific lore to the different colors of dragons in D&D. Oh, there's so much. Controlled power scaling is a major advantage of using game mechanics as part of storytelling. That is very true. You can't just have completely wonky storytelling because there are actual stats that you have to follow those rules. True. Black dragons are the most evil. All right, dude, we have to do fucking dragon lore in D&D. There's so much lore. There's so much lore. You see why I wanted to at least make substantial headway in 40k lore before I wanted to touch D&D.
For Vax lay hundreds of Thordak's red dragon eggs. His true plan revealed.
Yeah, he planned to take over the whole fucking world with 1,000 eggs.
However, this was not the end. Vox Machina would turn on the dragon Raishan, refusing to uphold their end of the bargain.
I love when the good guys end up fucking being the bad guys. Wow. That's crazy. They betrayed the dragon? It wasn't the dragon that betrayed them. It was them that betrayed the dragon? Honestly based, sort of, right? Like, you can't let this dragon wander around after killing all these innocent people.
The green dragon letting out a barrage of spells against our heroes. Ultimately, Raishan would escape with parts of Thordak's body, the party pursuing her over the next few days to her lair, where the last member of the Chroma Conclave would be killed, though it would come at a cost. Scanlan would be brutally killed in the battle.
Okay, please bring it back to life.
After an emotional resurrection,
yes, dude, I am so here for this.
Scanlan is brought back to life.
I do like that they're not doing the kill and bring back to life shenanigans as often in the actual show. I think it would take me out of the immersion a little bit.
But the trauma of the last few months was too much for him. Scanlan decides he will leave Vox Machina, heading off with his daughter Kaylee to Marquette.
Wow, and he actually leaves. He leaves Vox Machina after all that trauma and shit. That's crazy. Preemptive backstabbery is a legit tactic. Bro, you know that this green dragon bitch is not having humans' best interests in mind, okay? Cook her!
Here, Vox Machina would enter a state of calm. A new member would join their group, tarrying Darrington, and after a series of adventures with
Look at this guy. This guy looks like such a fucking goober.
Terry, he would head off on his own path, wanting to start a brigade of adventurers all on his own. This time of peace would come to an end, though, as Scanlan would return to Whitestone in disguise, telling Vox Machina that he has discovered another strange ziggurat like the one under Whitestone, this time, though, on the continent of Marquette. The party then traveled...
Oh, shit. So this is going to be the arc after Season 3, right? This would be like the Season 4, probably.
...to this ziggurat, where they view a group of cultists performing a ritual. They
classic cultists. Classic underground lairs.
Stare on in horror as in the center of the ziggurat stands a familiar figure, Delilah Briarwood.
Of course, we needed to conclude she's the one, like, the one thread that's not really been tied here. You know, she's been kind of annoying for the entire fucking story.
As another spinning orb sits before her. The party quickly try to stop her, but it's too late.
Wait, no. The bad guy is Vecna? The bad guy of the great finale is gonna be Vecna? Holy shit. The demon, the ancient lich?
Delilah steps into this orb, vanishing from sight. The party reconvene in Whitestone. After some research, they believe Delilah has vanished into the Shadowfell.
Into the Shadow Realm!
Using necklaces they took from Vecna cultists, the party jumps into the orb, transporting them into the Shadowfell. Here
Dude, they actually chase her into the Shadow Realm for this shit. Dude, I love the lore. I'm just scratching the surface of D&D. Oh my god.
See an ancient broken city, which looks like it was the site of a great battle. Undead men shamble to and fro, some wearing the signs of the Dawnfather, others wearing cultist robes. After ambushing a group of cultists, they learn that they are in the city of Tharmfala, and that Vecna is slowly being reformed at the Tower of Entropis, the great tower in the center of the city. Suddenly, though, the entire city is teleported to the Prime Material Plane, somewhere within Exandria.
I have no idea what the fuck the Prime Material Plane is supposed to be. Dude, there's so much fucking lore. Alright, we start with Vox Machina, we branch out into D&D, that's the strat.
Realizing the direness of the situation, Vox Machina sees no other option but to assault the tower.
Alright.
Fortunately, though, it's too late. As the party fly to the top, they see three figures standing before them. A Death Knight, Delilah Briarwood, and the newly reborn Vecna.
No freaking way. So that's the main villain of the final arc of, or of the arc after this Chroma Conclave one. They actually have to fight this Lich King that they've been trying to resurrect unsuccessfully until now.
This fight goes horribly wrong for Vox Machina. Grog being banished to the Shadowfell.
No, my boy! Ah!
Vex dying to Powerwood kill, and
No!
Vax being disintegrated.
Dude, this horribly wrong is the understatement of the century. They disintegrated my boy.
Though Percy manages to kill Delilah.
Oh, that's good. At least this piece of shit got his revenge. That's good. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Put his throbbing gun into the mouth of another bitch.
As Pike resurrects Vex, Grog returning from the Shadowfell just in time as Keyleth plane shifts the party, minus a fallen Vax.
Vax got disintegrated, my boy.
The Feywild. Vax dead comes face to face with his patron, the goddess of death, the Raven Queen.
Right. Totally forgot that he has Hack's god death powers.
She offers him a choice: eternal rest that she says he has well earned, or the chance to return to life, to aid his friends and family as her champion. But once Vecna has been defeated, he must return to the Raven Queen to serve her for all eternity.
Oh shit, God, dude, these choices! Like, actually gives him the ultimate ultimatum, right? Like, eternal bliss, guy, everything will be great, forever, eternity, or...
Vax accepts, as back in the
Feywild
in the middle of the night, Pike sees a naked Vax come walking out of the forest,
nice.
Now revived as a revenant. Looking for direction, Pike...
Wait, so he becomes like an actual undead? Damn.
Pike reaches out to her goddess, Sarenrae, who tells her that Vecna is seeking to ascend to godhood, and that he looks to use the ritual of seeding, a forbidden ritual that...
The ritual of seeding. Some people call it sex, other people call it the ritual of seeding. Incredibly based.
That was used by the Raven Queen to ascend to godhood. She tells...
Oh, wait, so the Raven Queen used to be a human, and eventually became the goddess of death by ascending in this way. And Vecna is this lich guy that also wants to ascend to godhood, just like the Raven Queen did. Alright.
Tells them to visit Pelor to learn how to seal Vecna away should he ascend to godhood. Vox Machina travels through Elysium, the plane of the gods, coming to face with the Dawnfather. After completing his trial and receiving his blessing, the god informs them how he once sealed the Chained Oblivion in the Calamity. He tells
I have no idea what any of those words meant. Sealing Chained Oblivions in Calamity by the Godfather? Is this like supposed to be some lore? Is this like actual D&D history? I don't know, just asking.
Tells them of the Prime Trammels, devices which the goddess Ioun created to seal gods in far-off planes. After another series of trials...
Yes, so wait, so this is actual D&D history. And they are like meeting these like historical D&D figures in like this grand finale. He sealed an evil god. That's pretty cool, honestly. Like, I do like that the conclusion of this ultimate Vox Machina story is, you know, becoming legends historically, as opposed to just in the present day.
Vox Machina managed to find the goddess Ioun, who tells them of the rites of banishment.
There are a lot of gods in D&D lore.
And explains how they must construct the Prime Channels by using the strength of a Titan to combine platinum with a bead of divinity. Vox Machina ventured to the Divine Forge, creating 3 of these Prime Channels.
Dude, I love how the previous arc... The first arc, right? Let's look at it this way. The Briarwood arc was very heavily focused on making human connections to make a rebellion in a city against a political uprising. Like, very, very human. The next arc was about traveling to different planes and worlds in order to gather, like, these ultimate weapons that they can use against these dragons. And in this arc, it's gone a whole other level. They are going into layers of divinity and shit, all right? Dude, I understand why you need the ritual of seeding in D&D lore, because ain't no one that ever combined platinum with the seed of divinity has ever fucking mastered the art of seeding, okay? I'm just saying.
However, Vecna has succeeded in his ascension to
this is shown in anime
godhood. Reconvening with their allies, Vox Machina sets out once more to save the world. Flying out, they see before them a sight of true horror. A colossal Earth Titan, once long dead from the early days of the Schism, revived in an ancient undead form. Atop this colossal horror sits the city of...
Did he call it a colossal whore? Because if he did, that's fucking awesome. Look at this big whore.
Thar-Amphala. Again, the party make their way through Thar-Amphala until they discover a familiar ally, a tall red dragon known as Archon. Archon explains how
Wait, different red dragon. Not, what was the red dragon? Thordak was the other red dragon.
his party was attacked and left for dead by Delilah, but by the grace of his god Tiamat, he lived.
Wait, isn't Tiamat? Tiamat's an actual D&D, like, dragon god, right?
And now he wants revenge. Vox Machina ascend to the top of Entropis, where floating before them is the Whispered One, the god of secrets, Vecna. Vecna would summon a swarm of meteors,
so he actually does attain godhood. Vecna in this final arc,
crashing them down into the city of Vasselheim below, sundering the city as Vox Machina attacks. Joined by their many allies and ancient tools of legend, as well as a little bit of luck, Vox Machina managed to bind Vecna with Pelor's divine trammels, as the newly formed god is vanished to a far-off realm. Here ends the broad story.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So it ends up with them actually sealing a god. It's a pretty fitting ending and a good progression. I do love the idea that they actually conclude the Vox Machina timeline and start other campaigns instead of just, you know, sending this one into the ground. Like, I feel like this will have a really nice solid 4th season at the end of where they're sitting on the Amazon Prime show, and it could conclude well after 4 seasons without drawing out these characters any more than they need to be drawn out.
Story of Campaign 1, though the stories of the characters from Campaign 1 live out in the world of Exandria as this world continues.
Wait, Critical Role builds an entire universe in the world of D&D? Like Exandria continues, we just follow different characters, but these people become legends in this world? That is so dope! Yo, I'm sorry. I love indie stories so much. I like seeing individuals succeed that aren't backed by the big fucking giant billion-dollar companies.
continues to live and breathe in the background throughout campaigns 2 and 3. But in fear of any potential spoilers, we're just gonna leave the story of Vox Machina and our characters right here. And yes, this was Critical Role Campaign 1.
That was great.
The speed run. I know it was
great.
still pretty long, but to be fair, we just managed to condense down 350 to 400 plus hours to what, like 20, 30 minutes max? As always, if you enjoyed the video, learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
That was really good. Yo, Finn Films, you did a great job putting that one together. God damn. I hope you put together your Critical Role Campaign 2, because I am very interested in keeping up with this lore specifically, Critical Role lore, as well as diving deeper into D&D lore too. For those of you that also like supporting indie projects, speaking of Amazon Prime, I highly urge you to check out Markiplier's new Amazon Prime thing, The Edge of Sleep, I think it's called, The Edge of Sleep. And because ultimately I want him to succeed. I have not seen it. This isn't an endorsement that it's good content, but knowing Markiplier, it probably is. And I want to see my boy succeed, dude. I want to see individuals do well in this landscape, that not everything is propped up by these billion-dollar Hollywood disasters. Okay, a friend of mine, Fifi, is working on a actual video game with a Kickstarter, so you can check out Fifi's Kickstarter, Vtuber, actual VTuber video game, and it's I hope nothing but success to these people that are trying these ventures. I'm working on my own shit, but I personally don't have some. I don't want to announce anything yet. I'm very excited about future stuff that I am planning, but for now, thank you all so much for joining me on this adventure, and 10,000 likes. We'll do more D&D lore dives, but this has been a lore dive. It's been a long time coming since I've done one of these. Thank you for being here. Stay weird, fam. All right, we got a wrap stream up. It was a good one. Sorry I didn't end up getting to the Asmongold thing. Again, I don't really know if it's like something I necessarily can like what am I supposed to do? I don't want to see flagellation. Nux making a gacha game. Not saying anything. I'm gonna raid somebody. Thank you all so much for being here. New video dropped on Nuxanor while stream was live about a half an hour ago, so definitely go check that out. Yeah, bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.